Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
And now Pete Alonso. First pitch swinging. And first pitch destruction. To a place where baseballs simply do not go. Man, you talk about an offensive explosion for the Orioles in this inning. They've had some really quality at-bats. Boo's had to work awfully hard. Tries to get ahead here. And Pete does not allow it. Pete just says, all right, you're going to
439 feet for Pete Alonso on that home run.
Can't we just say 440?
It's not the way it works. We don't lie
but-
here. As everyone knows, my journalistic integrity, if I've got two things in my life, it's my devilishly good looks and my journalistic integrity. And I guess if I were to give up my journalistic integrity, I'd still have my devilishly good looks, but I don't want to be a one-trick
Are you sure
pony.
they're not mutually exclusive?
No, I just don't want to be. I want to be a man of multiple skills. Good afternoon. It is Glenn Clark Radio. Appreciate you guys putting up a little bit of a schedule change. There's going to be probably some schedule changing going on next week as well. But that's just the way it works, and appreciate you guys being here this afternoon. We got a loaded show for you coming up in just a little bit. Trey Mancini is going to join us back in Major League Baseball. What a scene earlier this week as he went 3 for 4 in his first game back with the Angels after almost 3 calendar years away from Major League Baseball. Looking forward to that later on. Emery Jones of the Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman. We're going to chat with him about how minicamp and OTAs have gone, and he's got a big weekend ahead back home in Louisiana. He'll tell us about that. And also later on in the show, speaking of the Ravens, an all-time great Raven, Chris McAlister, Super Bowl 35 champion. I got into this conversation with somebody over BAL today when I was talking to them about Chris McAlister being on the show. Who is the definitive greatest cornerback in Ravens history?
Corey Ivy.
I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah.
Frank Walker, I thought, would be the first name that maybe would come up on that list. You've got 4 candidates, right? Like McAlister, Webb, Smith, and Marlon Humphrey. And I still think the answer is Chris McAlister as of right now. But I would listen to the argument. Like, if I rank them, I think it would be McAlister 1, Humphrey 2, Smith 3, Webb 4. Just because Webb was more of an inside guy and played a little safety in there, too. Like, he was never a real, like, legit one-on-one outside. I'm not saying never, but he didn't have as long of a run as being a one-on-one outside kind of lockdown corner. But I think he's the greatest corner in Ravens history. I think he should be in the Ring of Honor. He's also on that staff with the Louisville Kings. We caught up with Jamie Sharper the other day. He's on that staff as well as defensive backs coach as they get ready to play D.C. down in D.C. tomorrow in the United Bowl, which is the the UFL Champ. There's UFL and UFC in D.C. this week.
A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot happening in the
UF
department. A lot of UFs.
USA's playing this week.
Yeah, that's true, but not UF. Is Florida baseball? No, they lost, right? They lost to Troy, didn't they?
Lost.
In the college, in the NCAA baseball.
Troy trying to get a couple runs back here against West Virginia.
So, yeah, all that coming up on the program today. Since the last time I was here, look at that. 2 men of the match.
Ace.
We like it. Yeah, right now, Brandon Young is the most reliable starting pitcher the Orioles have. It's weird. I was talking about this morning with C4 and Brian Neiman.
Tie game.
Look at that. I am a man of Troy. Everybody knows that about me. I always, I like my baseball like I like my condoms. Trojans.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
need the Trojans. I want to make sure I have the dates of all this right. The Orioles swept the Rays. And then after they swept the Rays, am I remembering correctly that they lost the first 2 games of the Blue Jays series? Was that a 4-game series?
No, it's 3 games. No, wait.
After
it was 3 games against. Why does this look? Yeah, it was 4 games.
It was 4 games. But was it a
Sorry.
what?
Why can't I remember that either?
They lost.
They must have split.
They lost a game. They lost a game before we were over at Loyola. Because I remember coming on and saying, I know I should be disappointed about last night.
They lost 2-1.
Right. And who started that game?
That was the game that Nunez blew in the 8th.
But who started the game?
And Bassett started.
Bassett. And he had a good.
He went 6 innings of 1-run ball.
And I remember coming on and saying, I know I should be disappointed about Anthony Nunez blowing the game, but it was more encouraging to me that Chris Bassett had pitched so well in that game, and that it had continued that trend that had started in the Detroit series and then the Tampa series about there being really quality starting pitching. Because to me, the bigger story was any chance of the Orioles turning things around had to involve a much better version of their rotation. And I say that not to try to say that I don't like that the Orioles won last night. Of course I like that the Orioles won last night. But there's this strange feeling that I have where, yes, good that the Orioles won, but I'm almost equally as concerned about Kyle Bradish as I am encouraged that the Orioles won. They needed to. After a 4-game losing streak, they were in serious danger of punting away all of the momentum that they had built up. They had to get these results. So I acknowledge that is the most important thing. But the math to the Orioles contending at a legitimate level almost certainly has to involve Kyle Bradish not being good, but being top of the rotation good. I'm not trying to over-dramatize 2 bad starts. Dramatize or dramatize? God, what am I doing here?
I like the word dramatize.
I will go with it. Why don't you stop me when I say that? When I say something stupid, why don't you step in and be
I
like,
was about to. And then
what was that? Are you having a stroke? Over-dramatize 2 bad starts. But they've been 2 bad starts. And yesterday, obviously, or last night, particularly bad. I mean, dreadful. God, they both were dreadful. They were both dreadful starts.
You made it through 4 innings.
They were dreadful. I hope there's nothing else going on there. It's always that awkward part. I hope one of 2 things. Either it can be explained away by a very simple and minor issue, and, he had a hangnail.
He sneezed.
Yeah, right? Like something.
Gave himself a headache.
All's good. I hope that's the case, because it's more concerning when somebody struggles and they're not dealing with anything. But you don't want them to be dealing with something, because that could be a long-term issue. I hope that we look back and say, wow, that was weird. Remember those 2 really bad starts that Kyle Bradish had in June. But as good as it was that the Orioles won the game, I'm almost equally troubled by this patch for Kyle Bradish. And I don't have the answer. I've already blanked on what was the pitch that he refused to throw last night. They just kept talking. God damn it.
Kevin Brown kept talking about it?
I'm so
Ottavino
sorry.
kept talking about
Actually, I think it might have been on the radio because I was driving last night.
Oh, okay.
I have to apologize. I'm doing so much radio right now, and most of it non-sports, that I've had to put more of my focus over there, and it has led to me forgetting things. And I don't know why he wasn't. I don't know if it was the curve. I think it was the curve that he just wasn't throwing last night.
Pull up his baseball.
I think it was the curveball. I don't know why. I don't know how that would make sense. But I hope it's something simplistic. that can be addressed. One, because they just can't afford for Kyle Bradish to not be pitching every fifth day. But beyond that, they can't afford for Kyle Bradish to be anything other than brilliant. Brilliant right now.
Yeah, he didn't throw his curve.
Yeah.
Or he did throw. He threw his curve 16% of the time, and his four seemingly 15% of the time. 50% sinkers.
Yeah, it was a lot of sinkers last
Yeah.
night. We'll see. We'll see. Look, the Orioles won. That does matter. They put together a 6-run inning. When you put together 6-run innings, you should win those games. Although, it got hairy. And obviously Tyler Wells goes up next to Brandon Young as man of the match because they desperately needed someone to come in and shove. And Tyler Wells has not had a very good season. But hot damn, he was outstanding last night when they needed him to be.
How do we bottle that?
Well, then there's the question of, if you're going to be down Bassett for a little while, you're going to keep trying the Trey Gibson experiment. But if the Trey Gibson experiment doesn't pan out, at what point do you have to talk about does Tyler Wells need to go back into the rotation? Look, I thought Tyler Wells was going to be a leverage arm. Tyler Wells has not been a leverage arm. So if he's not going to be a leverage arm, how much value is there in Tyler Wells' mid-game reliever? Last night, there was a lot of value because you needed it. But how frequently are you going to need that guy? And are you better suited with someone who has experience and has pitched at a high level as a starter, turning to Tyler Wells, than whoever is the odd man out? Now, they're hoping they're going to get Dean Kramer back, and I know that for some of you that is not a relief. But they're certainly going to give him the chance. Trey Gibson is going to be kind of pitching for his rotation spot for however many starts he makes at this point. Brandon Young is, of course, safe at the moment. Like, he's in. Rogers and Boz are definitely still in. Bradish, you assume, is in, provided there's not something else going on here. You assume he's in. So it seems like right now, Trey Gibson's got the spot. He can hold it if he pitches really well, or that becomes Dean Kramer's spot when he returns. But it's cool to put up 6 runs in an inning. Cool for Pete Alonso to
hit a ball forward.
That's
40 feet.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig all of it. Don't lie, Griffin. You need to have your journalistic integrity too, because unfortunately, unlike some of us, you just don't have those devilishly good looks. You must have. No disrespect.
Well,
no disrespect.
This doesn't help.
Yeah, the old flavor saver. Yeah. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Not opposed. Orioles get back at it tonight. Weather pending. Griffin.
What are you talking about? If anything, I'd say don't play because it's like 90 degrees and 100% humidity.
I got to tell you, man, I had my kid at a baseball game yesterday, and we were supposed to be there at 5 o'clock for a 6 o'clock game. Like, they were going to practice for an hour. And I always do the bit where whenever I bring my older son, I say, hey, to the coaches, if you need me, I'll help you out when I get there with him at 5 o'clock. I didn't even do that yet. I literally pulled up to the field, said, son, I'll see you at 6. And I sat and ran my AC and sat in the car and did some work from 5 to 6. And at 5:59, I got out of the car with my chair and walked up to watch the game. And this is the really conflicting part, is we're into the playoffs now. And so there's that part of you that's like, come on, go win. And then there's the next part of you that thinks about, oh, how the F hot is it going to be at the next game? Like, if they win this one, I got to be back here on Saturday? On Saturday?
Saturday might be a little cooler, I think.
That's what somebody was saying, is that apparently Saturday.
Apparently it feels like 98 outside right now.
Oh, it does. I assure you.
With 45%.
Hot as hell.
Tomorrow the high's only 89.
That's nothing. Nothing. Oh, Andrew Stecca puts his vote in for Chris McAlister and says it's not particularly close. I don't know what metrics we have. Dig into that. Get me the analytics, Andrew, of who is the greatest corner in Ravens history. I am with you that I do.
Radar is encouraging, by the way. I don't know. It's
for what? For tonight?
For tonight, yeah. There's stuff kind of around, mostly south.
Mostly south.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe the Nats won't be in good luck.
Well, that's too bad. Too bad for them. What about for the Travis Pastrana is going to do a bike flip at the White House tomorrow.
So that's tomorrow, so it should be
it's good.
I think it's good. However, Sunday night.
Brian Powell was telling me it might not look so good for Sunday. There might be some storms on the horizon on Sunday.
Yeah, there might be.
Not going to impact my life in any way. Oh, crap. Actually, we played tennis on Sunday nights. Damn.
Then what are you going to watch after tennis?
Is the hockey on Sunday?
Nope.
When's the hockey?
I think or is the hockey?
I think the hockey has to be on Sunday. Because
There's
basketball's
nothing
tomorrow. No,
Oh,
basketball's
okay.
tomorrow.
Or nothing.
Well, soccer, USA tonight.
Yeah, USA tonight.
Then basketball tomorrow and hockey on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, hockey on Sunday.
Yeah, come on, man. What are we doing here? Being disrespectful. I actually was going to drive up to Hershey to see the Avett brothers tomorrow because they're doing a free show with Joan Jett in Hershey tomorrow, which sounds great to me, right? Like, and then my buddy Brandon was like, they're going to be at UMBC on Sunday night, and I was like, right, but that's not free. Like I like the price of free $99. That's what I want to pay to go see something if possible. But maybe if I can't play tennis anyway on Sunday, I could be talked into because I don't have it in me. I just don't have driving up. I love the Avett brothers. I think they're Jeremy's favorite band. I love the Avett brothers. I love Joan Jett. And I love Free. But then I got to think about how much of my day I'm giving up to driving up the Hershey for them. Like, maybe if it was down the street from my house.
Get on 83 at the right time, and you can make it in under 90 minutes.
To Hershey, you can, but now 90 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
The length of plus it's a free show, so you got to get there semi-early so you can get a good spot.
Sounds like you just don't care about.
I love them; they're great.
Sounds like you just don't care.
But how committed am I really? And I put something on Facebook like, does anybody want to go? Nobody. I don't want to go by myself. I'm not doing all that to go by myself. That's not happening. Nobody wanted to go.
Well, then you want to go to the UF Bowl?
No. I got my. Well, I would. It's not that I don't want to go. I would go. But my son's team did win last night.
Okay. Congratulations to them.
They won 12-0, in fact.
Wow.
One going away.
Wow.
He caught 2 hard-hit line drives. He was playing shortstop.
Attaboy.
Yeah, you say that. Easy over there. He had a walk and 2 strikeouts last night. That's
a 1 for 3.
Let's not,
that's 1 for 3 on base percentage.
Oh, yeah.
What does he do?
That's not cared. He gets on base.
Yeah.
He gets on base. Not really. He only got on base once in a 12-0 game. But he caught 2 hard-hit line drives. Like 2 that
on base and defense. That sounds
and to the point like where like people were like really hooting and hollering about him, and so he was feeling he was on his high horse after the game. Like he was the cock of the walk, dude. The other thing too that made it worse is like all of his buddies were coming up to him like, dude, you need to play shortstop all the time. I don't know why coach puts anybody else in short. You should always be our shortstop. And he's like he tries to be cool. When he makes a great catch, he does not like react. He does not yell. He doesn't. He just, and I love this about him. He just tosses the ball to the pitcher, and he's good at 1 out, plays it first. Like he's very good at that after he makes a play. Now he's got to be the one that made the play. He's not barking it out if somebody else makes the play. But he's very good at being nonchalant about, I made a great play and I don't want to make too much of a deal.
Been here before. Yeah.
Until after the game. After the game, and when it's around me.
You see that?
Dad, I think the second one was even better than the first one. Yeah, he's probably right. Like it was. We made 2 really good catches. So yeah, I got baseball again tomorrow. I would love to. I really would love to, just to see the guys. You know, like I would love to see those guys. But I got baseball tomorrow, so it's not going to happen. How did we get here? Oh, we were talking about the Orioles. We were talking about the Orioles. They did win. Samuel Basayo played.
So did Adley.
Oh,
they won.
I've had 100 people ask me what's going on this week.
They were benched.
I got nothing. I poked around a little bit about it, and got the sense that maybe there is some sort of disconnect, but nothing that would be concerning. Even the people that said there might be something were like, dude, those guys love each other. But something that I had heard was that maybe Basayo has a small reputation for this specific thing, where like when he's dealing with something that isn't significant, asking out of the lineup, and that might have came with him from the minors and had been part of his reputation, and it might be something that Craig Abernathy has wanted to try to change somehow. I'm telling you all this not having a full or complete picture of it whatsoever and how it makes sense. Like, who's dictating what here is the only thing that would make sense. There's no way that it makes sense for Craig Abernathy to not want Samuel Basallo in the lineup. So the only thing it could be is Samuel Basallo dictating it, but I'm able to come. Imagine the other night when it went to, like, extra innings.
Yeah.
If that game had gone 14 innings, he was going to basically catch a whole game. So I don't know. I don't. I'm not that the games are likely to go 14 innings anymore, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know, but I guess all's good. I guess nothing to see here. Adley looked good last night as he returned, and Samuel Basallo was back as well. So presumably that's the end of that conversation, and we can just move on to other topics. I hope that's the case, to say the least, and that this doesn't continue to be a thing or there can continue to be an issue. I feel like there was one other thing related to the Orioles that I wanted to get to, but I've already forgotten what it was. So you know what? We can just do this instead. Love this human being. Was so happy for him. We spent some time with him. Admittedly, it was there's going to be a theme today. Did this a little bit earlier, but an opportunity to catch up with an Orioles legend now, Los Angeles Angel of Anaheim, Trey Mancini. Man, I don't even have the words. Y'all know what we feel about our next guest. He's one of our favorite human beings that we've ever come across. And this week, seeing him back after almost 3 years away from baseball, and not just back, but back and making an impact. He is Los Angeles Angel. I wish it was here. He is the great Trey Mancini, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Dude, great to see you and great to be back on the show.
I don't even know where to start, man. Like, I was joking with Brad Brock the other day. I said the crazy part is you've been out of baseball for 3 years, and I'm still not even sure if it, like, registers on the list of, like, adversity that you have faced. Like, I don't even...
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a tall task to get back. But yeah, it's like, you know, I look back at the last 6+ years, and they've been wild. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's been just a lot of peaks and valleys, and the last few days have just been incredible. And it was a long 3 years to get back, really long 3 years. And, you know, the odds definitely didn't seem to be in my favor a lot of the time, but kept at it just enough. You know, the clock was pretty close to midnight for me there, but made it back just in time. So it's been incredible.
Trey, I know I've asked you before when you were grinding, but for those that don't know, why go to the lengths? You know, you could walk away, say, hey, man, I've accomplished so much in this game. I beat the odds. Why go to the lengths in order to stay in this sport and be able to get back to the bigs?
Yeah, so after 2023, when I got released, it was really tough. I had a tough few years. You know, obviously I was diagnosed with cancer in 2020. And then the few years following were still tough because in the back of your mind, your health is still a main concern. And I think it definitely shook my confidence a little bit. And that showed on the baseball field. Like, before I was diagnosed with cancer, I was really confident in my hitting ability, and that never ever really wavered. And when I came back, like, something just didn't quite feel the same, and it's hard to manufacture that feeling. But kind of slowly over the next few years, I just, you know, lost confidence, kind of lost a sense of who I was on the baseball field, and I ended up getting released 4 months into a 2-year deal, and it was really tough. I had a hard time, and I wanted to be away from the game, and most of the time, especially for the next, you know, month or two, I just wanted to be done. And then I went to spring training with the Marlins. I enjoyed it, but they offered me a spot in AAA to play once or twice a week, and I thought there would maybe be another opportunity out there, but if not, I was okay being done. So nothing came up. And then 2024, I was just away from the game, like, so far removed, honestly, like, didn't pay a ton of attention to the MLB in 2024. I just kind of started living my life and trying to figure out what was next, and kind of like, I think, mentally rehashing the last few years, and finally like getting over everything. And then once I did that, kind of at the same time, Brady Anderson texted me and told me he thinks I should go back. He told me the ability's still there. He knew it, and I knew it deep down. But I had just, played poorly the year before, and it was tough on me. So he texted me. I ended up going to hit with him a couple months later just to see how it felt. I was like, if it, feels like it did back in 2015 when we first worked together, I'll give this a shot. I don't know how I'm going to get signed, but
Yeah.
I'll at least try and tell my agent Mark to tell teams that I'm interested in coming back. And then hit with Brady. It went great. And then the Diamondbacks ended up offering me, in February of 2025, and went out, and that's how I got back in the game.
You did at any point from that, once you got back with the Diamondbacks, was it all right, whatever I got to do, I'm getting to the bigs? Like, once you got back to that place where you were committed to playing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was definitely committed to playing, and yeah, like making the major leagues again was my goal.
Yeah.
And I was in Reno, so the first couple months, like, I had kind of had hot and cold streaks, and it ended up being kind of the same the first month and a half here this year. So it was hot and cold streaks. And then June 1st of last year, I kind of made an ultimatum to myself. I was like, I was scuffling a bit, just kind of, doing fine, but not setting the world on fire. And at my age, my position, I kind of needed to set the world on fire to get called up. And I made an ultimatum with myself. I said, this is going to be I'm going to take my opt-out. It's my last opt-out on July 1st. I'm going to try to go nuclear, act like it's my last month ever playing baseball, and see how it goes. And I had like the best month of my career probably, but nothing ended up happening. I couldn't even get a minor league offer afterwards, after I opted out. So I thought I was done again. And then we had our daughter in October.
Yep.
Once again, I was like, okay, I'm, like I did what I could. And, if I would have gone back, I would have just probably stayed with the Diamondbacks and see how it went. But I thought a immediate situation would pop up when I opted out. So, yeah, I was out of the game again and was done. Like, but something inside me was still just kind of like eating away at me a little bit. I was like, I just feel like I could make it back. And then Brady was hired as the hitting coach in November. Late January, I get a call from him and asked me if I'm ready to go. And quite frankly, it was like the last thing I expected. I had been playing like tennis and pickleball for months. Like I was playing on my country club's tennis team. And
hang on, how good was the wait, this is important. How good was the country club tennis team?
Pretty good. I think I went like 4-1 in my matches.
Bro.
Yeah. So I've been playing tennis since I was like 3. So I love it. So yeah, I was just like, again, trying to figure out what was next. And, we were raising our daughter and things were great, but the opportunity presented itself and I just couldn't say no. If I knew that the ability was there and then there was a fraction of a chance I could make it back up, that I got to take it. So I did and stuck it out in Salt Lake and had a great experience there this year. The staff, the team, I really enjoyed my time there. And yeah, got the call the other day.
Man, Trey Mancini is with us here on GCR. There's a couple of things that jump out at me. You mentioned your daughter being born. Did that drive you any more to say, like, I'd like for my daughter to at least be clearly she's not gonna have memories of this week, but like to be able to say I played in the bigs while you were alive?
Yes. Like in my head, I was like, Oh, it would be so cool for her to have come to one of my games, but
Yeah.
we'll tell her about it when she's older, and tell her that I played a few years before she was born. So in my head, I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. But it kind of made the decision a little tougher and
Hmm.
made this year a little tougher, quite frankly, because I was with Sarah and Sadie less than half the time when I was in Salt Lake. And I was missing some milestones, and I was pretty close to calling it there just because I waited my whole life to be a father, and I love this girl so much, and
Mhm.
love my wife so much. And I was really missing them that, I was like, at a certain point, I've got to face reality and look at the situation and say that I gave it my best shot and go home and be with my girls. And, it was pretty close to that point when I got the call.
You're already about to make me cry, and we haven't even mentioned Mo yet. So, let's do it. You meant a lot to me in before I knew Mo. You talking to me about Mo, and I know he was there for you when you faced adversity. How much did he factor into you going through the adversity of the last 3 years and saying, I'm going to push through no matter what?
Yeah, I think about Mo all the time, and just how strong and wise he was. And he definitely would tell me to keep chasing it. I know that 100% for a fact. And yeah, I think about him all the time. Every time I watch a Ravens game and see the end zone, I smile. It's so cool, the impact that he had on the city, on me, on countless other athletes and people in the city of Baltimore. So, I always want to make him proud and honor him in his memory.
All right. All right. All right. We're not. God, man. I'm sorry. All right. Trey Mancini. I'm sorry. Wow. That on Monday night. It looked like you were going through it when you were standing at first base. Like it looked to everybody like you were feeling it. Can you possibly convey in words? Like you're already back, right? Like you did that part of it. But for you to be back and then to have a night like that, how, and what does that mean when it goes the way that it did?
I never thought I would experience the same emotions and feelings that I did on my major league debut on a baseball field again. And like the whole day was recreated, I feel like, on Monday. It's just something you can't replicate. The nervousness, like, you get no sleep the night before. You don't really eat that day. Like there's nervousness, there's adrenaline, there's excitement, there's all these emotions. And then when the game starts and you're on deck, like the whole world just slows down. And it's hard to describe, but I felt that again on Monday, and it was pretty special to get to experience that again. And yeah, I just tried to soak it in. And as athletes, I think we're so driven and motivated that we always have like the next goal. So it's like we achieved this goal. Oh, it's time for the next one.
Right.
I made the majors. That would be cool if I hit 30 home runs. It would be cool if I
Be an
made an
all-star,
all-star game.
yeah.
It would be cool, like there's always something that we're chasing, and there's always, this endless goal. And I think sometimes when we do that, we can get a little like lost of where we are. And I don't want to say that I took for granted being in the majors, because I know how special and amazing the opportunity is, but it does, like, after a while, it's just what you do, and uh further away I was, like the more time that passed, I was like, it's really cool to play in the majors, and it's such a privilege. So I'm, gonna make sure every game I play from now on, however long it lasts, I'm gonna remember that when I'm out there.
What is the line? Because you're here right now. Now, to your point, it's the next thing, right? Like you want to succeed, you want to win, you want to do all of those things. How do you compartmentalize that versus I made it back? Like, is there any part of you that says, look, man, if this is gone tomorrow, I got back?
Yes. So yeah, like I think the best thing for me and the team is like, I'm just going to try to do what I can to help the team win that day and enjoy where I am. That's the goal every day. There's no more like stat chasing or anything like that. Like, I'm so happy to be back, and I can't believe it in a lot of ways, that I'm going to enjoy it every day and just play hard. All you can do as a baseball player is put a good at bat together. So that's what I'm going to try to do.
You mentioned Brady's role in all of this, right? Like, I feel like for a lot of people around baseball, Brady's kind of a polarizing figure from everything that, in his career. Why has that relationship been so special for you? And I know it's not just you. I know it was like that for a lot of guys when Brady was back in the organization. Why has that been so special and something that has stayed with you?
I think his belief in me, and other guys would tell you the same. Like, he sees potential in guys, and when they might not necessarily believe in themselves or have the full confidence that they can do things, Brady does, and he'll instill it in you. And his teaching style, his communication has always just gotten through to me so well. It's like simple instruction, and he's really like firm about what he believes in. And it's worked for me really well. And, having coaches like Brady, and I've had so many in my career, is, we're only as good as the people around us. And, I'm lucky to have him and so many other people. Like, I could go through a list of 50 plus, coaches I've had that have had a massive influence on my career. So, I'm really lucky and honored to have played with for so many great people.
How well did you even know Grayson Rodriguez?
Actually relatively well for never playing together. So he got drafted in 2018. Like, I remember they brought him around the locker room when he was drafted, and then he was in spring with us a couple years.
Sure.
So I actually knew Grayson pretty well, I'd say, for never playing with him. So it's cool. Like, my first game back, he was pitching, so it was like awesome to get to play behind him the other day.
I was thinking about that, and I knew,
funny how baseball works in that way.
I knew the math didn't line up for you to have played together, but it makes sense. I also wonder too, like, obviously what he's going through probably isn't. It pales in comparison to the things that you have been through, but there is a similarity there, right? And that he's sort of been written off, and he's sort of been, this is your story. You're just the guy who's constantly hurt. Have you talked to him about any of that stuff and tried to share your experiences with him as he goes through this?
He's a really strong kid, and he's like very determined and tenacious. Like, I don't really think he needs a pep talk from me, quite frankly. He looked really good the other night. The talent's there, the ability's there, and he knows it. And I think the sky's the limit for Grayson.
I keep coming back to this. When you have a night like this, are you the type that I need my jersey from this night? I need that's what are you that?
No, and I kind of in hindsight, I maybe wish I was a little more, and I don't even know if I got the ball from the other night or anything, but yeah, it's something I don't think about in the moment. I've never been a big memento guy. So, but yeah, if they have the ball, I'll definitely take it.
I mean, look, we need to make sure somebody find that stinking ball.
They maybe did. I honestly, I was so pumped. I didn't even see where the ball went after.
That one needs to be for Sadie, actually. That one needs to be
for sure. That's
that
Sadie's.
We find the ball so that Sadie can have it.
Yeah, that's Sadie girls.
And then I'll wrap with this, Trey. Like, the support, not only from here, how beloved you are in this city. Like, you know that you will never be forgotten here. But the sense that I got was it wasn't just here. It was universal. The love that was being shown your way. Can you put that into words? Like, what it means to have an entire sport that is rooting for you and celebrating with you the way that they have been?
I mean, I really appreciate it. The cool thing about sports and baseball in particular is everybody that steps on a major league field has gone through a lot of adversity in some sense. The odds are against you to get there in the first place. So I think there's such a respect amongst players because of that. And the outpouring of support's been incredible. And it's been a long time, and seemed impossible at times. And I'm so happy and proud to be back. And I'm so thankful for all the support everywhere. And of course, in Baltimore in particular.
Well, I know you're going to see some old friends here in a couple of weeks. Everything works out that way, which will be really cool. I'm sure you'll be sick of talking about it by then. I'm sure you're almost at the part where you're like, dude, I kind of just want to play baseball. I hope you know how much it means to us that you're still willing to talk about it and do this.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you so much.
I love you, brother, truly.
Love you too, man.
I'm incredibly happy for you and for Sarah and for Sadie. And just go kick some ass, man. Just go kick some ass.
I will certainly try.
Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you, dude.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. It's Trey Mancini. As good as it gets. Just a 10 of a human being. And so happy for him. So happy for him that he never gave up on this journey. And he's back in the bigs. Awesome stuff. Appreciate him taking the time for us as always. Today's show is brought to you by the print issue of Press Box. This one still has, I think, one more week that you can go pick it up at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores, the Bill Ordean's cover story. Then it'll make way for a new print issue with a baseball theme. Look forward to that one being out there about 1 week from now. We come back in, talk for a minute about the NBA Finals, and then...
You only get a minute on the NBA?
Maybe 1.5 minutes on the NBA Finals. And then we're going to chat with Emery Jones, Ravens offensive lineman. That's on the way. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
Hey, Birdland, the biggest soccer event of the summer is almost here, and the crossover kit is back. Hit the yard on Saturday, June 13th, as the Orioles host the San Diego Padres at 4:05. Be one of 15,000 fans to receive an Orioles soccer jersey presented by Point Breeze Credit Union. Don't miss out on scoring this must-have soccer jersey or rooting on the red, white, and blue in your Baltimore Orioles all summer long. Get tickets at Orioles.com/tickets.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in Maryland, you know you need a great lawyer. Look no further than us, Warnken LLC. You've seen my picture on billboards around town. You've seen me on TV. Now I'm lucky enough to get to be here with Stan. Please give us a call. 443-RESULTS. It is not just a phone number, it's a mission. 443-RESULTS. Or visit us online at warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, and you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Back in here on GCR. So, yeah, the Spurs blow it in historic fashion, yakking up a 29-point lead, losing to the Knicks in Game 4 of the NBA Finals the other night. Couple of thoughts. One, this is why, honestly, this is why I was leaning towards the Knicks going into the Finals. Because when we talk about this, teams don't normally break through on their first time there as a core. This is the example of that. Even when LeBron put the first super team together, they had to go lose to the Mavericks.
And San Antonio, right?
I thought they won in the second year. I thought that was...
I thought they lost both of the first 2 years, and then they won back-to-back.
I thought they lost...
They lost an 11
one
to
back-to-back,
Dallas.
then lost again. I thought that was... Because I thought the second year was when they faced Oklahoma City, and they beat Oklahoma City. You can... Am I?
They won in 12 and 13.
Yeah. And they lost to Dallas in 11.
Okay, they lost in 14. Okay.
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Okay. I knew they went 2-2. I just couldn't remember. Yeah.
And particularly with a new head coach. All of that. Whoever you want to blame the most. The guys that stopped hitting shots. I mean, they were missing good looks. They were missing bad looks, too, and they were taking head-scratching looks, but they were still missing good looks. Mitch Johnson not taking a timeout to say, hey, what are we doing here?
Chill the F out.
Maybe don't hoist a shot 4 seconds into the shot clock. Whoever it is that you want to blame, the reality is this, not that any of us expected them to blow a 29-point lead, but this type of stuff is what happens in your first bite at the apple.
Method Man expected them to.
I mean, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens when you get there for the first time. So it is why, after the Thunder lost, I did shift towards I think the Knicks are going to win. Not necessarily because I'm confident the Knicks are the better of these two teams, but because their experience matters. And it doesn't mean that there will never be a team. Hell, I mean, I can't say definitively that the Spurs are cooked. As I said before, they needed to win one. It does help that you have maybe 3 days of separation. Could they figure out a way?
I mean, is De'Aaron Fox going to remember how to play basketball in those 3 days?
That part is that we'll get back to that. But could they win Game 5, and now all they got to do is go win one on the road? Like I said, they won a Game 7 on the road in the last series, so it's not like they have no experience winning big games on the road. They've already won a game on the road in this series. They got to prove they can win one at home.
Yeah.
I can't say it's over. It feels like it's over, and the way that they lost Game 4, it particularly feels like there ain't no way. There ain't no way you're coming back from this. Some team at some point is going to go do this in their first year together as a core. But that part of it definitely felt significant in watching that unfold the other night. The De'Aaron Fox of it all. It's funny because I've got some basketball people in my life that are like, yeah, you don't realize De'Aaron Fox was just never really all that good. Like, he put up some numbers because he was on a team where, like, who the hell else was going to do it? But he just ain't that guy. And there's a reason why everybody's been clamoring for maybe you move on from De'Aaron Fox and just commit to Dylan Harper. There is an argument to be made that Could he have missed one of the two? What's more likely? That you're not going to finish at the basket or that you're going to miss one of two free throws? And I don't know what the analytics would tell you, but I get the argument that you're right there. All you have to do is stick the ball in the basket versus now you got to do this twice on the road, the hostile crowd, the whole thing. Still, I think what we are clamoring about is less about the free throws, which are inevitable, and more about how many times are you going to not run time off the clock? And I don't care because Lord knows I'm not rooting for the Spurs. And I didn't put any money on this series. If I did, I would have put it on the Knicks. But what are you doing? How can a team with any DNA of Greg Popovich not know if you get the ball back here, you need to dribble for as long as you possibly can? Pass the ball around. If someone else is down there, move the ball around. Make it so when they try to foul for the first time, because late in games, officials don't necessarily want to call the first foul. Make it so that you got to be bear hugged in order for that foul to be called. I can't really blame them for the attention they paid to Jalen Brunson and the fact that left OG Anunoby open. I mean, it ain't great, but I get why you wanted to pay more attention to Jalen Brunson and try to force Jalen Brunson into a bad shot. This is the stuff that happens to a team that's not been there before, that was living a charmed life. Yes, they were tested by Oklahoma City, and they did definitely show mettle in that spot. But these are the things that happen when you're learning how to do this. I don't think it's over. I think it's OV.
I think it's over.
You as in you don't think they can win again?
I think it's over tomorrow night. I do. Just over and over. I mean, obviously Fox hasn't been good all series, and just Mitch Johnson, I don't.
Other
think
than one shot. I don't think Mitch Johnson's been good at all.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that.
It's unless Wemby can go nuclear like he did in what was that, game one of the Western Conference Finals?
Right.
Unless he drops 40-20 over the next 3 games, I just don't really. And even then, is that going to be enough? Like if Dylan Harper, as long as Dylan Harper steps up and Vassell and the rest of their cast, and they've just been really kind of outside of Harper, the rest of the supporting cast has been very inconsistent. So
we'll find out tomorrow night, Game 5 back in San Antonio. Had to do this a bit earlier because of his schedule. He's getting ready for a big weekend for him. It's Ravens offensive lineman Emery Jones right here on GCR. Well, joining us now here on GCR, this man, coming off a great rookie season with the Ravens last year, he's getting to do something back in his hometown this weekend that I just think is really cool. Want to let him talk about that. He is Ravens offensive lineman Emery Jones, and he is with us now here on GCR. Emery, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, you get to do a lot of things as a professional athlete, right? But getting to have your own football camp back home in Louisiana, can you describe what this means to you in your journey to be able to do something like this?
Man, it means a lot to be able to kind of have the support of the city. A lot of people kind of pouring into helping with the camp, sponsoring it. And then it just means, the world to have a whole bunch of kids who want to come in and learn from the area, that I'm from. I'm from Baton Rouge, so having those kids wanting to come out, having people reaching out, like I want to bring my whole O-line to come out and work with you and stuff like that. It just means a lot, to have the support of the city.
Do you
it means a lot, to have to be able to give back.
Do you have guys that are going down there to do it with you?
No, not from the Ravens,
okay.
No, sir, but I'll have a couple LSU teammates come. And I have some coaches, some high caliber coaches there too to kind of help out. So it'll be a good deal.
That's awesome, man. That's a really special thing. Did you have a story like this? Was there ever a player when you were a kid that did a camp or that you got to meet somewhere that had a role in your life and your own journey?
I would say a guy who came out to one of my youth, the South Baton Rouge Rams practice. Darius Geis was a guy who came and kind of talked to us, man. And, you know, I know that he's from the area that I'm from, that we kind of grew up in the same environment a little bit, kind of had kind of the same background, you know, as I got into my story. But he was definitely a guy that, you know, came and talked to me, came and talked to the team, and just left a real big mark on me, you know, and something I want to replicate for sure.
Had a hell of a career, obviously, at LSU, went on to the NFL, and that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Do you like the Baton Rouge thing? For the fact that you were able to like go from there to LSU, how much pride do you have in that place and it being such a big part of your story?
Yeah, man, I had a whole bunch of pride. You know, playing in Death Valley was a dream come true for me, for my family, you know, for my friends, you know, to be able to come to games and, you know all of them are in the crowd watching and cheering for me. It meant the world, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's awesome.
It's a big deal for me.
That's really cool, man. That's so cool. Emery Jones is with us. We're going to share some details about his camp on our Twitter account, @GlennClarkRadio, for you to check them out there. And just good on you, man. We love telling stories like that. I guess let's get through it, right? How was the last couple of weeks? How was being back around the guys? We heard that you know that sometimes it can get a little intense. We know that's the case. It's competition. But what were these last couple of weeks like, particularly obviously with all the changes that you guys have gone through as an organization this offseason?
Yeah, man, it's been really fun to be able to learn new guys, you know, figure new guys out, you know, see who good at what and who does what, man. It's been a hell of a little couple of weeks we had here. You know, I feel like we got a really close group, a really close team. Like you said, it's been getting a little intense at practice. We're getting a little chippy, but, you know, that's all good. You know what I'm saying? We all trying to better each other, sharpen each other's swords. So I think we're in a really good spot, man. I think we got a really good team this year.
You know, it's funny. We bring that up for people that don't know. There was a story going around about you and Zion getting into it. Did you know Zion at all? Like, we could tell just from one phone call he was an intense dude. Like, we could tell just from watching it when he got drafted. Did you know him at all? And then, like, is it as simple as, like, as soon as you guys get separated, you just, like, you know, hey, man, yeah, let's do, like, how does that work when something like that happens?
I feel like, you know, as a lot of coaches, especially on this level, and I'm pretty sure, you know, college level as well, preach next play mentality. You know, and Coach made it clear at the beginning of starting minicamp that, you know, any fights or anything like that, you get kicked out of practice. So I think we both did a good job of, you know, getting to that point of playing on the wire of, you know, super intense, you know, competing at the highest level. But also knowing not to step over that line. So no punches were thrown. Neither one of us got kicked out of practice or nothing like that. So I think it was a little bit of a respect thing. You know, I feel like we both kind of got chippy with each other during the play. You know, after the play, bumped heads a little bit and got back in the huddle and went back to the next play. So I think it showed a lot of maturity for both of us to not throw a punch and not, you know what I'm saying, get too deep in the emotion and just keep playing ball. So, yeah, we dapped up after and we kept it kicking. You know, we had a great day today. Third down day, so, you know, the D-ends, the D-line, they be feeling themselves a little bit, so it was fun today.
This is I feel from afar, like that intensity, if that's how intense you guys are in June, that seems like it's a good thing, right? Like, I think that sort of speaks to the direction that you guys are headed in, that you're that passionate, that you're that intense when you're still months away from playing a football game at this point.
Yeah, man, we're blessed to play with some high-caliber players, you know, some guys who going to probably wear gold jackets one day. So, you know, everybody want to be their best self, you know, around those guys. Everybody want to get to that level. So I feel like, you know, guys like Lamar, Derek, Ronnie, you know, all those guys, John, they just kind of give us that motivation to try to be our best, you know what I'm saying? So we got a good thing going for sure.
That's awesome, man. Emery, what have you learned so far about, like, Declan Doyle's offense? And I'm really interested in, like, getting to know a little bit more about Dwayne Ledford, who everyone has raved about, and what he's done throughout his career and the various places that he's been. What's something that we should know about him and about a Declan Doyle offense that you've learned so far?
I feel like Coach Doyle's offense, like, everything is kind of calculated. You know, everything that we're doing, from the way that we block, from the way that we have receivers coming in and helping, or whatever we're doing, everything is very calculated. So I would, if I was a Ravens fan, I would feel pretty happy, you know, with having him around, having him kind of controlling the offense. And then Coach Ledford, just a great dude, man. I feel like he's really gaining the trust of the O-line. You know, I feel like his philosophy is something that we kind of all stand by and something that we all believe in. So, man, I'm super excited, you know, to have those guys be able to work with him, be able to share the field with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just been an honor. be around them.
You know, you've been obviously in a spot where a year ago you come in a little bit behind, but you jump right into the mix. You get that chance to compete and get on the field. Now there's obviously some new faces in the mix at guard, right? Like, and of course we know what you can do at tackle. Do you find yourself now like trying to be more of like a jack of all trades? Do you find yourself trying to, like, I need to be able to play almost any position along the offensive line? Is that more of your role? Is it more defined than that?
Man, I'll just say, like, who I'm trying to be is the best team player, you know, they can be around. You know, whatever coach tells me to do, whatever he needs me at, you know, I'm gonna get my ass in. I'm sorry, excuse my language.
Good. You're
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in there and do my best at it. So I feel like, you know, whatever is becoming is becoming. But I feel like, you know, coach has a lot of confidence and he likes how I'm versatile and can play a couple positions. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep building on it, man. Keep getting better at whatever he's telling me to do, whatever he's asking of me, and just keep going like that.
How many of the 5 spots do you feel like if you were called upon, you could play? Like if that was where they said, hey, we need you right now, how many of those 5? I'm saying it feels like center might be a stretch, but maybe you'd say, no, dude, I could do that too. Like, how many of those spots would it be?
Yeah, I feel like I can play probably three to 4 spots. I would say center is one of the ones that I wouldn't too much jump into right now.
A little bit different.
I feel like snapping the ball and doing everything. It's a little different, but you know, I feel like all the other spots, you know, on the line I can pretty much play and flourish in, you know, if given time to work on it. So yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with that.
I appreciate everything about that. What's it been like being around Ronnie, right? And soaking up from him these last couple years. And I think a lot of people have said maybe you're the ultimate heir apparent to Ronnie, although Ronnie might say, yeah, I plan on doing this for another 20 years. What are you talking about? But what has it been like just being around someone like that and being able to soak up that type of knowledge?
Man, Ronnie's a great guy. A guy who's always open to help any way that he can, man. And honestly, I've been kind of trying to stick around him a lot more. Just because I think he's going into his 11th year now, man. And I know that comes with a lot of knowledge, and that comes with a lot of learning, and you know what I'm saying, figuring stuff out the hard way or the long way or whatever that is. So I try to take as much info as I can from him, man.
Is there
Honestly, I try to be a sponge around him.
Is there anything in particular that like you do that you've already been like, oh man, I know that I do that just because I watched like Ronnie do that? Have you had that moment yet?
Yeah, I feel like he gets into his stance a certain way when it comes to like shifting your weight in your feet. And that's something I kind of been trying to take from him and learn from him. And he also just like a technician, you know, when it comes to hand placement, he's always going to be at his spot and shooting his hands where he wants them. So that's something I'm kind of just trying to learn from him as well. But, man, he's just a really technical guy who knows exactly what he's doing. And, you know, when you're around him, you know, he's a pro's pro. He's a guy who you can look up to and kind of just, you know what I'm saying, learn from and take in what he knows. So, yeah, great guy, man.
That's awesome, man. Emery, how long did it take you to get over what happened at the end of the season last year? If we had talked to you a week later, would you have been like, bro, I want to just stay in my room and not see the world? Like, how long did it take you to move past it? Did it require you to, you know, like something had to happen in order for you to be like, all right, I'm over it. We're on to the next one.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, man. I would say I probably could speak for a couple of guys in the room. Or a couple guys on the team that was here last year, man. I feel like there's still a little bit of a bitter taste, you know, to lose it late in the season like that, you know, for it all, honestly, for making the playoffs and stuff like that. I feel like it's still a little bit of a bitter taste. And I feel like we're all building and fighting to get back to that spot and be able to win it, you know what I'm saying, when it matters most. So, man, I would definitely say, you know, we still a little bit of a bitter taste, but, you know, you learn to continue to get better and look forward to the future. And that's something that we're doing, man. I say we all bought into, you know, being our best in this season.
I wondered about that, right? Like, can you guys use that as fuel? Like, is that something that you guys talk about and say, we're not going to be in this position again?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing for us is just winning week 1. You know what I'm saying? I feel like coach is just kind of harping on, you know, one game at a time, being our best when our best is needed. So I feel like we're all kind of focused on getting ready for that game 1 and winning that game 1, and then, you know, being able to focus on going to week 2 and focusing on winning week 2. And I feel like that's kind of where our heads are at with it. Just trying to make sure we win, you know what I'm saying, and show up. You know, I feel like last year we kind of let a couple of fans down, losing at home, how we did some of those games. So I feel like everybody head on kind of just winning.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. All right, here's the have you had the moment yet where like it hit you like, oh my God, I really am like teammates. That's Lamar Jackson. Like, have you had that moment where like it just became real to you? Like that's not the dude that I've been watching on TV forever. That's my guy. That's the guy that I protect for. Have you had one of those like real moments?
Honestly, man, I would say not too much because those guys kind of made themselves open to you. You know, as soon as you walk in, like my first day with everybody being here with my rookie year, I was in the training room with my headphones on getting treatment. You know, it was like 6:30 a.m. It was like first day everybody shows up, and Derek came up to me like, yo, we got the same age, just chopping it up with me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, those guys made themselves very touchable, very reachable, very open to young players. You know, I see them all the time. They talking to young guys. You know, they're not like the Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? They're good teammates to everybody. So I feel like I didn't really have that moment to where I was just like, oh, this is Lamar Jackson. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, that's
He's
Lamar.
just very normal.
You know what I'm saying?
That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
right.
He is very. It's incredible how down to earth he is, right? Like it's just amazing. You're like, dude, you know you're Lamar Jackson, right? Like, they write rap songs about you. Like you know who you are. How you feeling about Lane? Have you had a chance to get to know him yet? Like, was there any bad taste in your mouth? Like, really, we're taking that dude? Like, what was the feeling there?
Nah, man, no bad feelings towards it. I'm a fan at this point. You know, every Saturday I got my LSU shirt on, stuck to the TV. So I'm a fan at this point, like everybody else. You know, I feel like Lane's a great coach. You know, we played him. I played him 3 years. You know, and they won some of those. I think they won one against us, won one against us out of 3. And I feel like, you know, he's a great coach. You know, I feel like all his guys play really hard for him, and you know, I feel like he'll have that LSU team ready to go when football season comes around. So definitely no bad blood, definitely no bad taste in the mouth, but excited to see what they do this year.
And I know everybody's excited. He brought Coach O back with him too. I think everybody was real fired up about that.
Yeah, they're boosting morale a little bit.
No doubt, man. Emery Jones, really excited for you. I think it's so cool that you get an opportunity to do like something like this back at a place that means so much to you, and to share what it is that you've learned and now pass it along to another group of kids. Congratulations on that. Looking forward to seeing you this season. A reminder, everybody can follow you. It's at emery.jones30 on Instagram, correct?
50.
Sorry,
yes,
I don't know why I said 30. I know that I knew that. Emery.jones50.
Yeah, I know.
Give him a follow there on Instagram, and you can find out more. Emery, really appreciate you doing this, man. Looking forward to chatting with you more as we get in towards the season. Thanks for taking the time for us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me.
It will be interesting to see exactly what Emery Jones' role might be moving forward. And you presume that John Simpson's going to be a starter, right? Like the Ravens didn't bring him back because there was any debate. And clearly they don't draft Venga Ioane where they did for him to not start.
Unless.
Yeah. Now, something could change, right? And, somebody could get hurt. And if that were to be the case, then whoever that is, that's probably what.
So, like, kind of like a McCary type. Obviously,
that's what I'm.
He wouldn't
that
play
was
center.
what I was. That was what I was trying to get at, right? Like, is that now his role? Is he a backup at one spot that we want you to be that guy, or is his role now more like Pat McCary? Now, remember, Pat McCary, what he was doing was insane because he was also he was a center too.
Yeah.
Like, he was all 5 positions. And as Emery Jones points out, that's not going to be him. He's not going to be snapping the ball. He's not going to be a center. But other than that, which is a shame because they don't have one of those. They can really use one. It's a shame that's not something he could do. But it will be interesting to see, like, is his role defined in you're the swing tackle? Like, that's what you are? We assumed you were a tackle coming out, and so now you're the guy that, you know, if Ronnie or Roger Rosengarten goes down, that's where you're playing? Or is he also the next guard? You could argue that if they're only going to keep 8 active offensive linemen, then the value of having both he and Andrew Voorhees, as much as we can, talk about how the season went from last year, would be that Voorhees could be their reserve guard. Emery could be their reserve tackle. And so now they've got a built-in backup at either spot. And they feel really good about their depth in both areas because of that. They still need to have at least one, legitimate center, and whether that's from this group that they're looking at right now, or whether that's from the outside. And presumably I don't know if Andrew Voorhees is someone that you could trust to be a center in a pinch. Like, do you need to have two centers because you've got to have somebody who's backing up whoever the starter ends up being? But it'd be interesting to see what Emery Jones' role is moving forward. Appreciate him taking the time for us, and love that he's doing something for his hometown. We continue along here on a Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. When we come back in, we're going to go over a tidbit and then get tubular. And still to come, Chris McAlister. Our guy Sam Joku says McAlister definitively number one. I asked Andrew Stecca to do the analytical look, and he said, you know what the analytics are? They're my eyeballs. I know Chris McAlister.
It's a special stat for Kyle Hamilton.
I don't. Well, he's not a corner.
I know. Well, I'm just quoting Jason.
Oh,
Gordy.
got it. Right. I do remember that now.
It's called Watch the Game.
Watch the Game. That is the stat that he used to define Kyle Hamilton's greatness. I did forget about it. But yeah, I did ask on Twitter for you to rank 1 through 4. 1 through 4, how you would have them. We all assume. I know John Little Rock brought up Dwayne Starks as being the 5th. I'm okay with that. I was trying to think about
the battle Corey Ivy.
Kerry Williams was obviously really important to the second Super Bowl team. Does that put – I think Dwayne Starks is probably the 5th guy in this group, but I think he's the 5th guy definitively. I think the 4 are separated, then Starks, then –
What about Deion Sanders?
What about Deion Sanders?
I mean,
I hear
not
he
the
wears,
greatest.
I
He's
hear,
not the greatest cornerback.
I hear he wears diapers. That's what about Deion Sanders. No disrespect. It was a fun time when Deion Sanders showed up in Baltimore. It was a hell of a fun time. Like, we couldn't believe it was real. Like, we're really doing this, huh? Wearing his age as his jersey number. The whole bit. Hell of a time.
So that was kind of like when Vlad and Jim Tomei were Orioles? Or?
Let me try to rank these 3. The excitement about the 3. The Ravens were good.
Okay. Well, what was
so
it?
It didn't matter. Yeah, I mean they weren't.
Yeah.
Like their offense stunk.
It was Kyle Bowler. Was that Kyle Bowler?
Yeah. The oh no, I think it was when they were trotting out a different quarterback every week. Part of.
This was the one that was this the season that Feinstein's book was about.
God, now I can't even remember.
I think it was.
It might have been.
Or
Well, remember Deion was here for 2 years.
Oh, I didn't know he was 2 for 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Deion was two seasons.
Jeez.
One of them, I think he got hurt, if I'm remembering correctly.
04, they missed. They missed the playoffs the year that Feinstein did the.
Yeah, he got hurt in 04, so he only played 9 games in 04. And then 2005, he played 16 games.
Did they make the playoffs in 2005?
I don't. You're asking me to remember every year the Ravens.
I think it was 2004 was the.
One of those years they lost to the Titans in the playoffs. Because which year was the year? The year that Jamal.
They went 6-10 in 05.
04 was the year that Jamal ran for 2,000 yards, and they made the playoffs, but they lost to Tennessee in the playoffs. I guess I would have remembered that if you had made me zero in on it. Yeah, but it was still like their defense was good, and you believe they could do anything because their defense was good.
Yeah, they did not make the playoffs in 2004. They went 9-7.
Was it 03 then, Jamal? Maybe it was.
Yeah,
maybe
03,
that was okay.
Yeah.
03 was Jamal's year.
Yeah.
And then 04 they.
04 was Feinstein's book. It was Bowler. It was. They went 9-7.
And was that when they won the 2 games at the end of the year over the Packers and Vikings, and we all.
No, that was they.
What year was that?
I don't know.
God damn it!
They beat the Dolphins in week 17, but it wasn't enough. They lost to the Colts and Steelers in week 15 and 16.
I don't have great memories of that. I don't know
what. Because they weren't very good teams. I get they just didn't have a quarterback. Like that's.
Well, yeah, that is the reality that they didn't have a quarterback. You're right about that. Then what was 2005? Because one of those years Bowler.
04, they didn't have a first-round pick. Gosh, this draft was terrible in 04.
What was the 04 draft?
Dwan Edwards, at 51st overall was their first pick. DeVar Darling,
but they traded it. They traded it. That was because they traded it to get Bowler. They traded to get back into the first round the year they got Bowler.
Josh Harris, quarterback from Bowling Green in the 5th round or 6th round. Sorry,
got nothing on that.
Clarence Moore, Derek Abney, and Brian Rimpf.
Oh God, rough. So I'm just trying to go back to the.
In 06 they were good again, right?
05 was the year. We're at the end of the year.
Yeah, 06 they went 13-3.
At the end of 05, they beat the Packers on like a Monday night, and then they beat the Vikings on Christmas night. And Bowler played really well in both games, and you convinced yourself, all right, maybe there's something here.
Bowler's a guy.
Maybe he could still be a guy. And then, of course, they ended up going and getting Steve McNair for the 06 season, and Steve McNair definitively was a guy right up until they had to play the Colts in the playoffs. But the defense was good, and so when Dion arrived, there was real excitement about he didn't need to be you knew he wasn't a difference maker, but he didn't need to be. It was just fun that Deion Sanders was a Raven. When they acquired Jim Tomei, they needed to get a real bat.
Jim Tomei is Hall of Famer.
That was 2012 when there were no expectations going into the year, but then they were good, and they needed to go get an actual player, and they got Jim Tomei. With no disrespect. And it was, I've talked about this before, but
612
Buck,
home runs.
God bless him, always believed that every player when he arrived was still the best version of that player. And so he got Jim Tomei and still treated him like he was Jim Tomei. Like, you got to have him in the lineup. He's Jim Tomei. No, he's not.
And now he tells us, don't let a star fall on you, right?
And Vlad, it was the same. When Vlad, there was no expectation that team was going to be good. There was a modicum more excitement about it because I don't think it was just Vlad. They had gotten somebody else that offseason. And I'm going to struggle to remember who it was. That would have been 10. 10. Right? Yeah, that would have been 10. They had
Yeah, it was 11.
No, it was 11. It was
Wow.
11. Yes, it was 11. Definitively. It was 11. And there was something else they had done. Because I remember we hadn't gone to spring training for a couple of years. But Drew, after they signed, or after they
traded for Reynolds, Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds, okay.
Yeah.
After they made a couple of moves, Drew said, dude, we're going to have to go. And I said,
oh, and Derek Lee.
Yeah. Would that have been Garrett Atkins too? Would that have been the same?
Let's see. It's Turris was already on the team. No, I don't think Garrett Atkins. Oh wait, they also traded for JJ.
Oh yeah, it turned out to be a very good move.
Yeah.
And there was some actual, I don't want to say excitement,
but Ty Wigginton left in the offseason.
It's tough. All-star.
All-star Ty Wigginton. Yeah.
But there was some actual hey man, maybe they're not just going to be pond scum, Like there was some of that going on. And I'll never forget because I had to do, that was back when I still had to do the combine every year.
Signed Kevin Gregg.
100%. And Kevin Gregg came in talking smack about the Red Sox. We're not going to back down. All that. And we're just all right, bro. Good for you.
And it was a big deal that they brought back Koji.
But Drew bought in.
Okay.
Drew legit bought in.
Of course he did.
He was.
What choice?
He
this
said
was Buck's first full season.
He said, "We're going. We're going." And that was only annoying to me. I love going to Sarasota, but it was a little annoying because I was going to have to do it on the heels of the combine. So it was going to cost me 2 full weeks that I was going to be away to do both the combine and spring training. I was just annoyed by the timing. I said to him, can we separate it a little bit? I don't want to do this much time away. Whatever. Drew was really fired up about going to spring training. And I'll never forget that after that season, we're planning now the spring of 2012, and I'm booking my flights for Indianapolis, and I go to Drew and I say, "Hey, do you want to do spring training?" And he said, "No one cares after no interest, none." And I could sense that he was just burned by how excited he had gotten the year before. Like, he had really convinced himself that the Orioles were going to be legitimate in 2011, and he was burned by it. So now in 2012, no, we're not going. And, of course, sure enough, they end up being good.
That was their big acquisitions that year were Taylor Teagarden.
Yeah.
Dana Eveland.
Yeah.
Wei-Yin
I
Chen.
believe it was Eveland.
Was it Eveland? I
Was
thought
it
it was Eveland.
Maybe it was Eveland. Maybe I think it's somebody else.
Wei-Yin Chen. Wilson Bedament.
Well, Bedament. Say it correctly.
Wilson Bedament. Luis
Ayala.
Ayala.
Well, Wei and Chen obviously ended up being
Yeah.
a very solid acquisition.
Jason Hamill, of course. They traded Jeremy Guthrie for Jason Hamill.
Forgot about that.
He was great that year.
Great is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Andy Chavez.
He was helpful.
Miguel
Gonzalez, which proved to be an
Signed on
outstanding
March
move.
2nd.
Yes, that proved to be an outstanding move. Of the three, I think we had the highest expectation for Vlad of the three.
He hit 29 homers because I was looking at it.
Like,
He hit 29
I think
homers the year before.
when they signed Vlad, there
he
was
hit
a
like
real
300.
belief that like the Orioles had gotten something. The other two, I think we knew better, but I'm trying to think of the excitement factor. Remember, Dion is a pop culture figure. So, like, a pop culture figure arriving in Baltimore, Deion Sanders went out and did, like, events at the barn. You know, like, this was in a different era. That's Deion Sanders that's out there doing that, a legitimate pop culture figure. The excitement about his just being in Baltimore was palpable. It probably goes Deion, Vlad, Tommy overall, but the highest expectation level of the three was definitely Vlad. Like, and Buck added that big. I remember Buck, like, the press conference happened. He signed late, so the press conference was in Sarasota.
February 4th.
Yeah, and Buck was talking about how nervous he was trying to help Vlad button his jersey, because they did the jersey. He's like, I'm just so nervous about it. Like, he was so excited. Like, Buck absolutely added to the expectation level for Vlad Guerrero at that point in his career. I don't know how you did this to me. Come back in.
I want to talk about important things.
Well, come back in. We'll get a tidbit tubular and talk to Chris McAlister.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Hey Birdland, the biggest soccer event of the summer is almost here, and the crossover kit is back. Hit the yard on Saturday, June 13th, as the Orioles host the San Diego Padres at 4:05. Be one of 15,000 fans to receive an Orioles soccer jersey presented by Point Breeze Credit Union. Don't miss out on scoring this must-have soccer jersey or rooting on the red, white, and blue in your Baltimore Orioles all summer long. Get tickets at Orioles.com/tickets.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bill Ordine dives in on how different Preakness will be temporarily at Laurel Park, and then long-term once it returns to Pimlico. Also inside, Luke Jackson learns more about what Trey Hendrickson will bring to the Ravens. And Karuga Koinange looks at how Samuel Basayo is influencing the Orioles' international signing efforts. Press Box is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
The year we went to spring training, I believe, was the Jake Fox 10 home run spring training, if I remember correctly.
10 home runs.
There's a story in there that I don't think I can tell without Drew's permission, but there's a story in there that involves Jake Fox. Well, I don't even know if he'll want it. It's like...
No, we'll be.
I learned something about Drew. I learned something about Drew in relation to Jake Fox. That's all I'm going to say. I learned something about Drew.
Get Drew to talk about Jake Fox.
I don't. It's not high on my list of things to do. Have you watched a movie? When can we do a movie review? When can we do that?
We can do it next week.
Jesus, man. What are we doing around here?
Sorry,
what is going on?
It's nice. Well, it's really hot today, but
it's very hot.
I've been outside.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
I've been touching grass, as they say.
Oh, touching grass, huh? Hey, this Monday, Stan the Fan Charles, Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson will be talking baseball once again, as they do every Monday. It's always brought to you by Warnken Law. Watch it live, Facebook.com/PressBox. Oh, hello. Facebook.com/PressBoxSports. A little bit of an incident there. Glad that happened here and not on WBAL News Radio 1090.
Is that supposed to be better? They're supposed to be better than us? Is that you're not allowed to hiccup?
I mean, I think they're more inclined to fire me.
If you go,
I don't know if a hiccup is what's going to do it, but NFL has cleared Stephon Diggs, so we'll see if that is what leads to him perhaps signing sometime soon. I was reminded there is another accusation that's out there, that there was a male that accused Stephon Diggs of assault. I had forgotten about that. I guess it's interesting that the NFL clears him with that still being on the table. Is it their way of saying, hey, we've dove into that and we just don't think there's anything there? But we'll see if that speeds up the process. I've obviously spent a lot of time talking about the Ravens and wide receivers, and the wide receiver market continues to move at a snail's pace, other than the 3 that the Giants signed a couple weeks ago. So... they're all still out there. It's not like inaction has led to, and who knows how everything's going to play out with Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers and whether he can play. And
so you want Ayuk? Is that
no, it seems, I don't think I do, but everybody seems to think like it's almost a foregone conclusion that if he can play, he's going to be a Commander because of his relationship with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, Commander fans definitely do think that.
But again, I don't even know if he can play, more or less, what the 49ers are ultimately going to do there. It's so weird. But Debo's still out there. Diggs is still out there. Keenan Allen is still out there. So, like, the top of the veteran receiver market still exists. We'll see if this moves the needle or moves the timing on Stephon Diggs joining a team. But the NFL has cleared him of any potential violation of the player conduct policy. So he is eligible and could return.
The latest update.
I don't care about Brandon Ayuk. I don't think Brandon Ayuk's going to be a Raven. I know it's been weird. I know he's made a bunch of weird videos, and it's just a whole thing. He's not going to be a Raven. Is there anything else we needed to cover?
Soccer.
The hockey, obviously, last night
was
the least interesting.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a bad game.
Yeah.
It was just that all the games have been so good that you get one that was 4-1 late. It ended up being 4-2. That it was a dud. It was a dud in comparison. But now the Hurricanes have the chance to close it out in Game 6. All right, let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by CountySports.zone. Everything you know about high school sports, any news all summer long, they'll have you covered. CountySports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com.
A little bit of help from Jake Rill on this one, but Pete Alonso hit his 15th home run of the season, hitting 15 home runs over his first 70 games with the Orioles. He is the 10th player to do that in Orioles history.
15 home runs, first 70 games. I'll say Albert Bell.
Albert Bell in 1999 hit 15 home runs. The guy with the record for most home runs through his first 70 games, 22.
Okay.
With the Orioles.
Rafael Palmeiro.
No, Rafa.
God, that drives me insane when you do that.
I'll call him Palmy.
So gross. How about Nelson Cruz?
Nelson Cruz had 22 home runs in his first 70 games with the Orioles in 2014.
I don't think it is, but no, it's not. It's not Chris Davis.
No, it's not.
Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds is not on this list. There is another Mark, though.
Mark Trumbo.
Mark Trumbo has 20 home runs, or had 21 home runs through his first 70.
So disliked by Orioles fans. So disliked.
He did what he was, I guess, supposed to do. I mean, he took pies away. I guess that's
the thought. The problem is the Orioles just haven't acquired a lot of sluggers over the years. Like, you find it very unlikely that these are rookies because it's just an insane thing for a rookie to do. So you're trying to think of.
There is one.
There is one rookie on this list. There's one rookie. Cal Ripken.
Not Cal.
Eddie Murray.
No. I can't really give you a hint because it's going to just be a dead giveaway, but it is not those guys.
Boog Powell.
No. He's still active.
He's still active, but not an Oriole.
No, he is not currently an Oriole.
Still active, was a rookie with the Orioles. Still active.
He was called up in September.
Was Santander? It's not Santander.
I mean, he would have counted. I think he debuted with the. I mean, like,
I had to think about that.
Rookie.
Yeah, I would. He had because he was a Rule 5 pick, right?
Yeah, it is not Santander.
Okay. Oh, Manny. Yeah, good call, Stecca. Manny.
Manny is not the one.
Terrible call,
come on,
Stecca. The hell's wrong with you?
He did. Well, I don't want you to. Sorry, he did say another one.
Oh, Frank. Yeah, Frank makes a lot of sense.
Frank Robinson.
Why did I say Frank? I said everybody else but
I guess
Frank.
so he was.
The hell?
I guess. Did he debut with the?
Oh, is that who? Is it Trey?
Yes, it is Trey Mancini.
Son of a bitch.
Trey Mancini.
Now I feel stupid.
17 home runs in his first 70
Now
games.
I feel stupid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
So Cruz, Trumbo, Frank, Mancini, Bell. There are 4 others.
Jesus Christ! I still got to do this for 4 more. Lord, you better help. I don't have this in
all right,
me.
one guy in 2016. It's this most recent. So that was also Trey. So Trey he debuted in September of 16. Finally reached it in June of 20.
Not Hyun-Soo Kim.
No. So Trumbo was 2016, and then this guy was also 2016.
You're asking a lot, man. You're asking a lot.
He was
It wasn't Wilson Betemeat because
No,
we
it
just
wasn't.
remembered that Wilson
No.
Betemeat was a few years before that.
2020.
Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro Alvarez hit 15 home runs in his first 70 games.
We could have been here for a while, me thinking through that.
Then bring us back to 2001.
2001. Who the hell made their Orioles debut in 2001 that would have hit? Who was an acquisition in 2001?
He was, I guess he was, okay, so he apparently was a rookie as well.
He was a rookie as well in 2000. Jay Gibbons?
Jay Gibbons in 2001. Hit 15 home runs before his injury. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only thing that we remember about 2001 is it was Cal's last season.
Yeah. Well, and that Jay Gibbons hit 15 home runs in his
We
first
don't remember
70.
that. We just don't remember that.
Then 1995. I don't know if you're going to be able to get this one. I mean, you were obviously a kid, so I think you might. I guess you should, but I don't. I never heard of this guy's name. I've never heard of this guy's name. He was a Philly in 1993. Did not play in '94, and then he was a Yomiuri Giant in 1996.
Is it Jeff Manto?
Yes.
Dude, Jeff Manto. No one. He all of a sudden, because he was a nobody, and was just hitting an ton of home runs.
He hit 31 home runs in his career. 15.
I remember
that year,
this.
At least 15,
I remember this. What were the dates?
Because
I don't think it was necessarily the first
May 4th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was not the start of the season.
May 4th through August 19th.
This guy showed up, and you're like,
16.
What the hell is going on here? I didn't know it was that many, and I couldn't have guaranteed that Jeff Manto wasn't on the team the year before, but I do remember Jeff Manto's power tear. Of course, 95, we were all thinking about Cal Ripken and nothing else. That was all we were concerned about in 95.
Mickey Manto, they called him?
Not really. Like
his Wikipedia says his nickname was Mickey.
Not really. All right, good stuff. That was a good tip.
There's one more. Sorry.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. 1976.
1976.
Yeah.
Has Stecca guessed it already?
No.
Oh, he guessed Gibbons, though. I apparently missed that. Sorry, Stecca. 1976.
He was.
Oh, that would have been Reggie, right? That would have been Reggie.
Yep.
Reggie
Jackson.
All right. Very good. Very good. Let's get Tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right, here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise for the weekend. Tonight, Orioles and Padres. I'll start with Orioles and Padres, all three games. Tonight, 7:05 on Madison, Griffin Canning and Shane Boz.
Strong first name on the kid.
It's also on Peacock in the rest of the country if you want. I assume that's the Orioles home broadcast. I don't know why it'd be the Padres home broadcast, but I actually don't know how those work, so we'll see. Tomorrow, 4:05, Randy Vasquez and Trey Gibson. Sunday, 1:35, Walker Buehler and Trevor Rogers. I am terrified this is the weekend that Manny Machado remembers how to play baseball again. That just like arriving in Baltimore all of a sudden will
Did
make
you see
him
him bashing analytics last week?
No, I didn't see that.
It was actually pretty funny. It was.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
like he wasn't making good points, but like it was just
Manny.
he's batting
That's
170.
Manny.
He's frustrated and.
Tonight at 9, Paraguay and the U.S. in the World Cup.
He's like, Fip, what is that?
That's on Fox. College World Series right now, a thriller, 5-5 game between West Virginia and Troy on ESPN, then North Carolina and Ole Miss at 7. Tomorrow, NBA Finals Game 5, 8:30 as the Knicks try to close out the Spurs. World Cup tomorrow on Fox, Switzerland, Qatar at 3, Morocco, Brazil at 6, Scotland, Haiti at 9, and then Turkey, Australia at midnight on FS1. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing a midnight?
It's in Vancouver.
I understand, but why at midnight? I just don't get that part of it.
I don't know.
Thank you. Dynamite stuff. Tomorrow on ESPN, College World Series, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Georgia, Texas, 3 and 8 respectively. Sunday, Stanley Cup Final, Game 6, as the Hurricanes try to close out the Knights. That's at 8 o'clock on ABC. Fox will have Curacao and Germany at 1, Japan and the Netherlands at 4. FS1 will have Ecuador and Ivory Coast at 7, Tunisia and Sweden at 10. And I think Sunday winners or losers in the college. I think it's losers in the College World Series. Whatever. We'll find out. We'll find out. Non-sports.
I don't think there was a ton. Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, 5th and final season.
Is Lamar in this one?
We don't know.
I believe he was in 2, correct?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's really it. Netflix has a good book club, or should be for you.
The last one I thought was a good book clubber was really dark.
Maternal Well, I mean, I don't know if this one's gonna be much brighter, but I mean, it seems like it's gonna be a fascinating.
Could really use
story.
a cheeky book clubber.
I thought the point wasn't that though.
No, some of them are like
so
that's Kings of Tupelo is the eternal. Whenever somebody says what's the best you've ever watched, Kings of Tupelo is the greatest doc we've watched in book club. It's brilliant and it's cheeky and it's fun and it's wonderful. But even like a Cocaine Quarterback was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they all, because I get it. Like when crime is involved, they're mostly not gonna be cheeky. But sometimes I like to mix in the Poop Cruise. The Poop Cruise was cheeky. Every now and then I like.
What about Sky God or Sky King? What was it? Sky King. I guess it wasn't really cheeky. Like that was
cheeky.
They
A lot of mental health. Yeah, it wasn't really cheeky. It was. It was something.
A young Texan's seemingly perfect romance unravels after a state trooper discovers she has given birth in her car, exposing a shocking crime. And then
giving birth?
Apparently, this woman faked the pregnancy for months and then murdered some innocent girl and stole her unborn child from her.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's on Netflix.
Brian Powell lets us know that first game is today's losers, second game is today's winners. So thank you, Brian Powell, for giving us that update. Yes, and I'm aware of what time midnight is in Vancouver, Stecca. I'm aware, but why midnight? That's still a 9 p.m. kickoff. When they play 9 p.m. college basketball games, we all lose our minds about them. My point remains. Jerk. Who does he have in the draw? Who does he have? I
can't remember.
Want to root it.
I don't.
Proctor sent us the thing.
Oh,
we
he
just
did?
you're supposed to be updating it.
He didn't send it to me.
Yes, he did.
Well, I don't have a
because you don't check your Facebook. Because
I'm like in my 20s.
Because
like, what
you're 2 years old. That's why. Check your Facebook messages. Send it to you. Stecca has Colombia, Japan, Australia, and Uzbekistan. Yeah, I am. Infuriated. You got to update this. You got to stay on it.
Yes, I'll
you got work to do.
I should be able to.
The hell's my team? Belgium.
Brian wants my best bet for the White House card. Can I give it to him?
No. Belgium.
Ilya Taporia first round.
Belgium, Uruguay, South Korea, and Haiti for me. That team stinks. Who the hell did this? Team's awful. If you haven't sent me your money, send me your money. I think Ryan did the bit where he asked me for my Venmo and then didn't Venmo me. Get on that. Kyle's never going to pay us.
I think it's the former producers then, because I think it's Kyle, Paul, and Sheldon.
Is Paul in? I don't think Paul's in.
Oh shoot, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Paul, I was talking to Paul this week because I invited him, and then we filled, and then I was just been talking to Paul this week. So that's why.
Thanks today to who do we thank? We thank Trey Mancini for sure. We thank Emery Jones and Chris McAlister, who you're about to hear from. We'll get them all up in the greatest hits section of the.
Will Forte and Allison Brie on Seth.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yes,
okay,
I think so. What is Will Forte plugging? They just.
What was
I assume it's 4 seasons, but
yeah, I think so.
But like they did all that. Like that was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago,
wasn't it? I don't know.
He's got something else too.
Because we've seen a lot of Coleman Domingo, but Coleman Domingo's in everything, so he could be plugging anything at this point. Stecca.
I think Coleman Domingo's on a rerun sometime tonight.
Okay, Stecca, listen to me. I'm not asking why they're playing the game late at night. I'm asking specifically why midnight. They could do it at 11:15. Why midnight?
He said they want to spread out the games. Yeah.
Right.
Because then the U.S. is
but
playing.
The first game
U.S. is playing
until
at 6 Pacific time.
Right, tonight.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a logical time to be playing a game.
So then this game's going to be at 9.
Why 9?
Time. Because they want to do 3 hours. They want to do 3 hours each.
Then
game.
Why not start the first game earlier than 3?
Well, because they want the.
No, it doesn't make sense. Stop trying. You're trying to defend FIFA.
Well, so wait.
Yeah.
So this game's at 3. Then there's not another one until 9.
No, tonight. We're talking about tomorrow. There's a midnight game. Tonight there's only 2 games. Tomorrow the games are at 3, 6, 9, and midnight.
Okay.
Midnight.
So they are stacking the card on Saturday.
Why? The first game could be at 2. And then you could do 2, 5, 8, and 11. And then that kickoff would be at 8 o'clock, which makes way more sense. And you know it does. It's okay to sometimes just say, Glenn, you're right about this one. God.
To avoid, so this is what Gemini says, to avoid dangerous summer heat.
Now, that's a better argument. I don't know how hot it still is in Vancouver. How hot is it in Vancouver at 8 p.m.?
Where's this
How much
Canada
different
game?
is the heat in Vancouver between 8 and 9 p.m. tomorrow?
Where's this Canada game being played right now?
Right now in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1-1.
Got a lot of questions about
Do
that.
we
All right,
switch-
we got to go. We got to go. It's 4:40. We still got to talk to Chris McAlister. Jesus, I hate you. I got a playoff baseball game today that I got to worry about too. Thanks to Griffin. At Griffin, do we have anything? We don't have anything on Monday, do we? Monday is also an afternoon show.
Okay.
Sorry. Monday is an afternoon show. 3:00 kickoff on Monday.
Steiger
Yeah, he
said-
can F himself.
He said it. He said he
Sick
will
of him.
always tell you when you're right.
Sick of him.
But that never happens.
You know what? Drew's right. Drew's right. I like Andrew when he sleeps. Love you, bud.
Yeah, you should have said it. You should have just done Drew's.
The
You know
whole
what,
bit.
Andrew? I do
Yeah,
like you.
yeah, right.
I like you.
When you do back in Boys Town, do the whole thing. Monday, nothing. Griffin's got nothing for Monday.
I got the whole day to plan it.
3:00 kickoff on Monday. I think that's the only schedule change next week. And everything else will be normal. 3:00 kickoff for Monday. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Live Casino and Hotel, the Baltimore Orioles, the Costas Inn, your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, a leading edge auto body, Warnkin Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Cruise Maryland, countysports.zone, Meriwether Post Pavilion, the Maryland Department of Health, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Birds. Go USA. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. I had to do it earlier, but chance to catch up with the great Chris McAlister right here on GCR. We talked about it earlier in the week. There is an unbelievably cool local sports story that is playing out. And tomorrow in D.C., the United Bowl pits the D.C. Defenders against the Louisville Kings. And for those that don't know, the coaching staff of the Louisville team is basically entirely members of the Ravens Super Bowl 35 title team. It's so cool how these guys have all ended up together. And it's Chris Redman as head coach, and Jamie Sharper, and Brad Jackson, and Tony Banks. And joining us now, one of the greatest cornerbacks in Baltimore Ravens history, he is Chris McAlister, and he is with us once again here on GCR. C-Mac, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you. Coach C-Mac, that is. Appreciate you taking the time for us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
How you been?
I've been great, man. How are you guys doing, right? Like, this is awesome. How cool is this?
Yeah. You know what? It is so funny that all this is happening, and I think it's all kind of, it's kind of how you put things out in the universe, and it all comes right back to you. And it was kind of meant to be because we had our Super Bowl reunion this year.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, we were all sitting around talking, and some of us were in coaching, some of us were looking to get into scouting, some were already in these different areas. And next thing you know, a month later, Redmond calls and rallies up the troops and says, "Hey guys, you guys want to go get this done?" So here we are.
Dude, this
it's pretty awesome.
When he called, did you know how many guys were involved? Like, were you aware of what was happening? Had you all talked to each other at all, or like how did it happen that you just all ended up doing this together?
Well, at the time, I only knew, like, Brad had called me and asked if I wanted to do it, and then Chris and Brad called me back on a three-way, like, the next day, and we all talked. And at that point, I knew it was us three, and then the other pieces were being put together. So it happened pretty fast, It's like because the season was coming up on us starting in February, and Chris Redmond was doing his job getting the rest of the staff together. And we didn't know who those pieces were, but fortunately for us, for all of us as a group in a whole, it's like it's all working out.
Man, like I know that if you were experiencing success doing anything, it would be cool, right? Like I recognize that, but how much more has it meant to you to get to do this with these guys? Like that you literally won a Super Bowl with. Like how, to me, and I have nothing to do with your team, it's incredibly special. How special has it been for you?
I think it's special in a lot of ways. It's like because we share that same connective tissue from our Super Bowl years.
Yeah.
And we'll be bonded forever through that experience in our NFL playing careers. And then we get together here as coaches. It's like we bring that same passion, the same energy. It's like we still, as competitors through and through, it's like we understood what it took as a team to get it done. It was going to take all the pieces moving as one. And that's what we've been able to accomplish here. You know, it started off as 0-3. And 1/3 of the season has gotten, you look up and you're just scratching your head saying, gosh, I was like, I know we're better than this, but how do we get ourselves into this hole? But you never stop believing. And we just keep fighting, keep pushing forward. And when the guys buy in, it's like the players bought into the whole thing. It takes everyone to be a part of it. And it's like, it's so great to have this experience to be back. Honestly, me and Brad were talking the other day. It was like, gosh, we're in the Super Bowl. Like, we're not in the Super Bowl technically, but we're in the UFL Bowl. You know, it's like, gosh, how did this happen? Like, how did we get back here? Like, this feels so unreal, but it's a great experience.
Now I have to ask the question because you referenced that. I was thinking about, like, stories from when you were in the Super Bowl. You didn't put anybody, like, in charge of, hey, how do we keep these guys entertained and not getting distracted the way that, like, Tony Siragusa did once upon a time, did you?
No. We're just gonna, you know, these guys have been professionals, you know, the whole way, but, you know, we're not going to be there for a whole week.
That's
either,
a good point,
okay?
too. That is a good point. It's not a week in Tampa. It's not a week in Tampa.
It's not a whole week in Tampa.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than what life was back in the day.
Yeah.
Chris McAlister with us here on GCR. Chris, I want to talk about you, then I want to talk about the team, right? Like, for you, this place, right? You've been doing some coaching. Tell me about going down that path, why it was something that you wanted to do, and what it's meant for you to be a part of this and finding this success.
Well, this started a couple years back before COVID. I'd done a couple internships, 3 internships, and then I coached at high school a little bit, volunteered rather. It's like, and then I started interning in the NFL. And I was starting to hit my rhythm. It's like, number one, football is me through and through. I love it. I always love it. I always watch it. And watching it unfold is like watching the seasons go by just made me want to get more involved. So when I started off in high school is where I kind of, you know, dipped my toe back in the water per se. It's like, and then I got the internships in the NFL, which COVID hit, which stopped my
momentum.
You know, which start my momentum. So then I just kind of take a couple steps back and, you know, enjoyed being retired. And I realized, like, wait a minute, I don't want to be retired. It's like, I want to be involved in football. So I reached out to some friends and got back, you know, and got that itch and that energy back to go do it after 4 years going by. And I was on my path to trying to seek out another internship as well. I'll just put it in the air. Started off talking to the Ravens. Hopefully the Ravens bring me back to intern this year. Hint, hint. And then I ended up getting this coaching job. Before the internship, I ended up getting this coaching opportunity with Coach Redmond. So this kind of got the ball rolling. You know, it's like I like to continue things and like to see where this path takes me because I really enjoy, more than anything, being able to see something on paper and then, or the kids now, they see it on their tablet. We talk about it. And it goes from the classroom to the practice field, from the practice field to the game film. And you're like, wow. It's like watching them succeed, the joy of watching them execute and succeed brings me a lot of happiness. You know, it's like I feel like I can still contribute and give back to the kids who are playing the game now what the game gave me before.
Man, I love that. I love everything about that. That sounds so good to me, dude. Did you always know that was in you? Like, I hope I'm not saying that. Like, I think a lot of people remember your personality, and like somebody would say, I don't know that I would have seen Chris McAlister as being a coach. Did you always know that, or did it hit you at some point?
I always knew that I wanted to coach, and I knew it was going to be hard. You know, it's like it wasn't right away. It was sitting, honestly, watching football and asking questions like, why are they doing this? Why is he doing that? Why? Like more questions than answers. I'm like, what was that guy thinking about? And it said, why don't you just give it a try? You know, I never knew like, oh, coaching is going to be my next step. Like right after football was over, it took me a while of watching football to like, maybe I can give back to the game with the game, you know, some knowledge to the players who are playing from the guys that I learned it from. Like I learned from the great Rod Woodson and played with Deion Sanders as well. Mm-hmm. And they've given me so much, not to mention, you know, the guys on my team, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. And
I hear they're good.
All of those guys, you know, it's like, so the knowledge that I've gained by working with them is something that's never going to go away. And so why not give it back to someone else?
Chris, you know, I've made it very clear and loud, and you and I have talked about it before. It bothers the hell out of me that you're not in the Ravens Ring of Honor. I hope that changes at some point because you're incredibly deserving of it. But Can you tell me about your relationship with the Ravens? Because I do remember like worrying, the way that it ended, if that was going to be. But we saw you back really quickly. It didn't take long for you to be back and doing events and around the team. Like,
the crazy thing is, it's like everything comes to an end. It's no big deal. It's like me and the Ravens have been in a great place for a long time. It's one of those things. I don't know how the process works. It's like it is what it is. It's going to work itself out. I mean, I believe maybe one day in the future, it's like things will work themselves out, and I will, be honored enough to, be lucky enough to be in the Ring of Honor. But if not, it's like, I won't say it won't happen. I'll just say when it is going to happen at some point. Hopefully, you got to throw positive vibes out there.
We agree. Hopefully that will happen because it is well-deserved. There is no question about that.
Yeah, I've already been up to training camp this year, It's
That's
like
awesome.
And watched them out at one of their rookie mini camps. It's like I'll continue to come out and support the Ravens as long as they continue to have me, which they have. It's like they've always welcomed me back with open arms, so it's pretty awesome.
I love that. Tell me about this team. Tell me about your group. You mentioned the 0-3 start, right? Like how did you guys go from that to now being one win away from being champions?
Well, honestly, it's crazy. We were sitting there after the first game. All of them were close. We were in all of the games and felt like we could have won at least 2 out of the 3. And at the time, we kept telling, at that moment, we looked at the next week, like, don't look up at the schedule. Don't look and see, in the standings. Don't look where we're at. Look at the team that's in front of you. Brad did a great job of preaching and getting us started down this path of just being 1-0 this week. And everybody bought into the mantra of being 1-0 this week. And next thing you know, we won 6 out of 7 games. And we're right back in the hunt. And it was the players buying in. Once they got the first victory, we went from 0-3 to 1-0. The energy level changed, It's like the belief of all the hard work that they have been putting in all this time, because they just came through a 5-week camp and then lost 3 straight weeks. So for 2 months, it's like it's been like grueling football and then, no results. It's like, so finally they got the results that they were looking for, the results of winning, which always is a way to fuel the fire to any competitor. And once they tasted it, these guys just were relentless. It's like we practiced harder than they practiced harder than they anticipated practice, because UFL has strict, football's gotten a lot different since when we played.
Yeah, it's not exactly like the 2000 group.
So, it's not like you're going out there twice a day, and it's like we're trying to get, and us being a new coaching staff, it's like we listen to them, and it's like we just kept pushing forward, and they kept believing. It's like, and I think it's due to the players. I mean, the staff here is incredible. I love them, and I'm biased because I, grew up with most of these guys. But also, it's the way that I believe, as being former players, that we're able to connect with our current players, and have those conversations about why they need to be in certain positions in cover 4, cover 3, cover 2. Why just worried about watering your grass is the most important thing. Don't worry about where your teammate fits or if you saw an extra play. It's like being able to communicate the importance of everyone being on the same page and operating as one system has, in my estimation, has led us to a point where the whole team is starting to work as one. Offense is feeding the ball. Offense is doing their job on their side. Defense, we're getting stops, we're timely takeovers, and special teams is playing rock solid. So it's kind of a combination of the way our Ravens team was built is how this team started operating in the beginning. It was more defense keeping us in. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, our offense came on strong, and our offense started putting up big points. And now we're just hitting our stride. It's like, and we had this conversation, Brad and I and the rest of the guys. It's like, it's kind of like we just went through OTAs, training camp, and the preseason, and now we're starting our regular season. But for us, the playoffs started right in our regular season, and we're hitting our stride at the right time. It's like, so we kind of feel like we've been ramping up for this, like the whole way here,
I wanted to ask about one of your guys, because he did actually spend some time in Ravens training camp a couple years ago, and that's Corey Mayfield Jr. The way he's played, I started to think maybe the Ravens should try to give him a call back, or like bring him back to training camp this year. But tell me a little bit about him and why he's been able to find so much success in the UFL.
I think it may be from his time that he spent in the NFL, and I know that he was there in Baltimore. But the kid is hungry, It's like, and he works, and he's a true professional. It's like, and when he comes to practice, he practices. He practices hard. He listens to coaching. He's a great kid. And over the course of the year, he did nothing but improve. And, we watched him in minicamp. He probably lost 10 or 15 pounds, like from the beginning of the season to now. And he's like leaned out, and he's just a kid that enjoys playing football. He works hard. There's not really anything that I could say about him that's bad because there's nothing there.
That's cool. Man, that's cool. That's
you
a
know
coach's
how it is
dream, right?
Huh?
It's a coach's dream, right?
Well, it is. It's like, now, trust me, my room has paid me back in karma, in other ways. We'll talk about that later. I wasn't always the saint, so let's just be honest about it.
I kind of alluded to it. I just said personality. That was the only word that I chose to use.
I'm just saying we have some guys that reminded me of me and then some. I was like, hold on, what are we doing? I was like, my first time coaching, seriously? It's like, and I get a group of guys that want to put me through the ringer, stress me out every day. I'm picking up my phone, calling them, like, what's going on? You okay?
That's so great, man. That is so great. I love everything about that, dude. Tomorrow, down in D.C., the United Bowl, D.C. Defenders, Louisville Kings, and again, that Louisville team, that's the team. I know geographically Baltimore's not far from D.C., but listen to me. Like, these are the guys that you love and that gave us a miracle championship 26 years ago. Support them as they go for a title tomorrow. Chris McAlister, brother, I'm so happy for you. I really do think this is one of the coolest stories that you all end up together doing this. I think this is really special, and I'll be rooting like hell for you, and then hopefully seeing you back here in Baltimore pretty shortly after that. That's what I hope it plays out the next few months. Thank you for doing this, man. Best of luck, all right?
Hey, thank you. 1-0, baby. Let's go.